Hi.
Hello. Greetings and salutations. We got a new style audio tryout going on. Got a feather in my cap, so to speak. We've been struggling with this audio, but we're getting the hang of it. I don't think this will be forever, but hey, improvise, right?
And Ian has a really deep voice, so
Yeah.
I have a hard time hearing him too
What?
when I'm sitting right next to him. So I may not edit out the Ian, talk louder.
Well, hopefully this is working. We did the live yesterday. It was up and down with the audio.
But now we have feather in his cap.
0 F's given here. We're just doing what we have to.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember this little jewel,
Doing it. Okay.
always something. Well, yeah. Not very exciting, the dent repair world, but it's necessary. We fixed the hood pretty close, and then I discovered once we got the body down, look at this under the windshield. I mean, hammer time. You'll look at the other side on the passenger, and you'll see where this wiper arm goes. That is the contour it's supposed to have. And, you know, just a nice, graceful curve. I'm running my hand over this, and I feel it right here is up, and then the whole slope goes down.
Ruh-roh.
And if you read the map, wacko, look at that. That's the primary point of impact. Biggest point of impact is like something sharp and nailed it. And there's a big crease in here. And the rest is just that oil can type of scenario that I mentioned. The sheet metal is just stressed, so it's finding the path of least resistance, as it were. So I think I want to start under here, pushing it out. When I went in on the hood, I used a big old sledgehammer, and that was a good starting point. For this, I'd have to remove the dashboard and come up with a whole bunch of ingenuity to get a hammer under there. So I'm going to use this tool over here. It's old, it's crusty, it got weathered with all the rain we had, but I dug it out. A lot of people call it a porta-power, a hydraulic ram. I call it a sling blade. No, I call it a porta-power, just like you'd say Xerox for a copy machine. It's pretty neat. It's like a floor jack in a way, a bottle jack, but it has different accessories. So look at this. If you were to want to reach your finger in there and spread something, look at that. And you know how much force that is putting? I could probably lift this building. Oh, I could lift 1/2 ton.
Wow.
So I could lift 1,000 pounds with the claw.
Holy smokes. So what would you use that? So you're going to use that for the dent repair, and then you could use it for like a multitude of things, right?
I'm not going to use it.
Oh, you're not?
I was just showing off.
About it.
I'm going to use the other attachment.
You just want to show us the claw.
The claw. Yeah, Alan Benuelos and I used it on another project because we were trying to get into this little tight space and there's no room for a hammer. I was like, dude, I have the claw. So this is just a typical straight ram. It will push up and release. So I'm just going to connect this hydraulic fitting. So this has no pivot action like that. It's just straight up like every other jack in the universe. So it's got different attachments. They just pop on and off. You got the rubber snubber. You got the old flat foot, a couple little fingers and other doohickeys, and all different variations of shapes, you know, and lengths of the tube. I'm just going with this setup because I want to put where that pinpoint is under the windshield, that major dent. I want to put one hard edge right on that, try to reverse it. And then on the floor side, just a big wide foot. If it was straight, you might just tear a hole right through the floor. So, the suspense, right? I'm already feeling it.
I'm excited.
I cut the stopper off this door so I could swing it way wide, so we'll have access. So that's the inside of the cab once again. I'm going to get a piece of aluminum to drop on that floor to help support this thing. simply because I don't have any heavy steel thick enough. Alright, so the idea is I went under here and cut out a bunch of wires and things in the way, and I just try to position this right under that greatest point of impact. That way it's like one little pinpoint pushing up on that other little pinpoint. Science. Well, I could actually feel that.
Let me know when you want me to go around.
Yep, come around. Yeah, this is very close. I'm going to try to land it right here under the window edge, just see what happens. So all I'm doing is just pumping this lever like you would any other type of jack. I'm just going to guide it. Alright, starting to work. Here we go. Yep. Do you see that? Here we go. Ooh, it's raising.
I see it.
Alright, so
I'm trying to capture it. It's hard to.
yeah, I don't want to push it too far, and I also don't want to puff the steel up to the opposite of what we have with the dent. Because this is so strong, it'll just punch up. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, hear that? Truck is creaking back into shape. Yeah, that just shows you what an impact that was. It put stress on the whole cab.
Wow, that's cool.
Power of hydraulics.
I have a whole new respect for collision.
I'm getting one little raise right here. That's the tool. So I'm going to lower it down a little bit and move it over just a touch. Because again, I don't want to create a big dimple. Right?
That's cool.
It is cool. Now you don't want to put your finger between that hydraulic thing. Okay, here we go. One more push. Ready? Now I'm going to bang that down a little bit just because I have a good, strong support under it with all that pressure. I'll just try to fix that one little dimple that I created. Yeah, paint's starting to rip. Hear that? Just like with the hammer and dolly on the other video, that is right on the tool. See the two little fingers right there. So, just looking at it, looks pretty good. I'm going to slide over just a little bit as I drop her down.
Like the truck is breathing.
It's groaning. You know what childbirth is like. This thing is rising from the dead. Hear that? Right on the tool. Come back, move it over a little bit more. Yeah. So we don't want to go that far in. Cool. That's one. Now, I'm going to try to get this piece out. We got this good. Now that guy there. I'm almost thinking about taking a piece of a round tube, because this is such a pointy die underneath. Like a piece of a round tube might spread that stress out instead of having that hard push of the single finger action. Let's see if I got something.
And everyone that's watching, forgive my a little bit of a shaky camera work. My gimbal died. And I have a new one on the way, so.
I tell you, production ain't what it used to be.
We're not running the most professional shop here. So, yeah.
Hey, I'm just winging it.
We're just winging it.
All right, check this out. I just found a little piece of a 1-inch round tube. So I'm going to cut it in a way that I'll have a rounder pressure point. So I'll go under the cab pushing like this, so you don't have those two little spiky things we were just experiencing. You know, the spiky thing experience.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, do I need PPE?
Oh, the muff.
Ah.
That's one thing. I'll be right back. Safety third.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So, I just cut this tube. How do I look?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful, my pet.
So I'm going to land this on top of the tool so there'll be a broader pressure point. The old broad pressure point trick. Drop her down.
I have a whole new appreciation for collision repair people.
Oh yeah, I'm not even that. I'm just a monkey with a sling blade. Porta power.
But I'm just saying, it's like pretty wild.
All right, now I'm looking around, banging my microphone into the vehicle. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think I'm right on that. I'm going to put an angle in it and try to push it up. I'm breathing some of the vintage dust.
Oh, God.
Welcome. Antique cars. Okay, so right in there. It's gonna be one for sure. I'm gonna try this. Check this idea out. I got a lot of pressure in there, and again, not trying to hammer finish this to absolute perfect repair dome. Check out this little idea. I've done this quite a bit in the past. Just gonna take a self-tapping screw. I use those things all over the place. You'll see in other productions, I'll use them as like Cleco style fasteners where you're putting two panels of sheet metal together. I just boom, boom, boom. Instead of riveting or whatever, you can screw them in and screw them out at a moment's notice. Cleco fastener is like a temporary rivet type of tool. I have a bunch of them. But I find that these self-tappers do wonders. They're fast. I'll put that right in the middle of that because I can just weld that later. Right? We'll leave it out a little bit. I'm going to grab one of these lever things. I'm going to stick it right under there. Give it the old hi-ya.
Oh, snap. Look
Right?
at that.
Science.
That's like a DIY. I love it.
I know, not rocket science, but
It's really cool.
just a little trick.
I was kind of wondering
So
where you were
see, now
going
this
with
is
that.
up. It'll be easy for me to dolly under there and put it right where I want it. So I have that ram in place. It's supporting everything. That's just a little bit high. Look at that. One simple little weld. And see, this is up right here. Look at this contour in comparison to the direct opposite side of the truck. So while this is supported, I'm going to give that a little rubber hammer whack.
Oh, and I want to say something really quick. So in our live, somebody commented, hi Ian. In our live, he's got his hammer. Somebody commented if the International on the property is for sale, and no, it's not.
Pieces of history.
Yeah, those were here at the property and they're relics, so no, they're not for sale, unfortunately.
This is pronounced crease right around the antenna hole, and then this is up. But because I got good support under here, I'm going to try to give that a little wants to be what it was. One really cool thing about cars from the 40s and 50s, or trucks, reasonably soft steel. I tried to do this on a late model Honda. Heck no, it's a different game. There is a style of dent repair on that type of metal, but this one, you see, it's pretty basic. Next, I'm going to go for this. I might put that rubber fitting on the ram because that'll be a softer push. Lower her down. So see, this just comes off, but it might be too tall. Let me just check. Nope, that'll work. Cool. So this rubber end, same as a rubber mallet, but it just fits on this tool. Like so. So it's pushing with a nice soft rubber bumper. Flip on the light here, take a look. Something like that. Oh, like totally, dude. It's gonna work. Awesome. All right. Prepare for pressure. Heck yes. And I mentioned that before. All you gotta do is run your hand on it and you'll just know that's low. I'm gonna move it over and try to push that up a little bit. I'm gonna let go of the pressure. Watch this stretch.
Wow.
Metal. Pretty cool. All right, coming up with one more push, a little bit further over. Yeah, see that pressure? Yeah, that's good. So that being said, with the two creases pushed out, I'm going to try to just put some pressure right in the center of this. I'm going to try to get this as vertical as possible because I don't want to create like a dome. I mean, not a dome per se, but I want to create like a big pronounced opposite of the crease. I'm actually going to slide a piece of sheet metal in there to spread this out. I'm just going to put a piece of sheet metal between that rubber stop and the truck body. That way it'll help spread out the stress a little bit, because I don't want to create another pronounced raise. Ooh, this is where it gets, sometimes you wish you had 3 arms.
I wish I had my robot arm.
Yeah. Jamie's taking one for the team right now. If her hands start shaking. Working on the camera control.
How bad my...
Okay, here we go. Coming up.
Ooh.
See that? That's the oil can thing I mentioned again. Yep. I'm going to move it over a little bit. Right there is where I want it. See that? Right here. I'm right on that crease. I'm going to go a little over. Look at that. Now, I don't know if this really does anything, but I just always feel good, like when you reach your point, to just like let it know. Let it know it's in its space. So it's pretty smooth, but it's definitely up. So maybe when I take this pressure off, I can slide the rubber bumper apparatus to right about there. There, I think. Coming up. Push. See that? I'm a little over the top. Work that crease a little bit, and then still low right there. The fun of auto restoration. I could be out there making a spaceship or something. Instead, I'm here pushing an old truck into shape. All right, coming up again once more. Yep. Yeah, that's a little bit low, but I can get in there with a hammer. Oh yeah. Yes, indeed. This crease is still pretty big here. I got room for a hammer underneath that. While there's good support here with the ram in place, I'm gonna get the hammer and Jamie's favorite little dolly and work on that.
You know it.
Where did I put that thing? Look at this shop. It's out of control.